Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're going to work on another lace masterboard. And the other day I had done these. I guess you would term them a shabby chic style. So I wanted to finish off this last one. And it's basically going to be shabby chic as well. I'm going to have more gold elements in it. And it's still going to have lace and trims and things like that to pretty it up. The other day, I also showed you this, and it's that fold out that's like a 12 by 12. And if anybody wants to see me make this, I will make it. Leave me a comment down below. But I forgot to show you this. This is the same as the one way up front here. Here's the other one. So I had made the same exact pocket on both. And it just, it's mulberry paper, I think. So it's kind of delicate, though it's got those threads in it. So this was a tag from the kit. And over here, there's not really much to see. It's just another pocket that I've built up. And it has some postcards in it and another pretty tag. Love that rose. I just love it. And so they go in here. This is sort of a French-inspired kit, I guess you would say. But it has really pretty elements. So here's going to be the interesting thing that you can take away from the sneaky peeks today. There's that woman. I told you I love this woman. This is a clear pocket. It just pulls out right like that. That's one of those tags that I made. It's kind of bent at the top. But this was from a masterboard I made a while back. And it just had some scrap paper on the back and a bunch of little scrap pieces that I put on the front. And I cut 4 of these out. But here, and I made it where you could actually see something in behind as well. That is another piece of that vellum that I went and put through my computer and printed off a digital from, I think it was Angela Kerr. And then, I forget which one it is. There's this woman, Emma, maybe, that is one of Tim Holtz's design team people that always put these threads behind her middle of her flowers. And I wanted to try that, so I did. I made up a crazy little pot to put it in. And this is sewn around the outside edge. I'm trying to remember what this is. I think it's just regular packaging where you would take it off the front of one of your things, like kind of like this right here. I think that's all it was. I put a little bit of extra paper up here to strengthen because that was just that, weak kind of acetate. And then that slides right back down in there. I thought that was kind of a neat idea. I don't know if I've seen that. It's probably out there somewhere and I just haven't noticed it. I don't get out much. Okay, let me clear this off the decks and we'll get to it. Okay, as you can see, I have it basically kind of laid out. It kind of was worrying at me because I wasn't sure. I had, you have something in your eye and you're trying to figure out how to make it work and that kind of thing. Well, some of these pieces like this and these 2 pieces under here, hang on. I'm losing it all. Are hats that my mother gave me. This is really starched. I don't know where she got them. But I thought, well, I could cut parts of that off and put it around the outside edge of something. And this is some kind of a wedding hat. So I've got all kinds of goodies on here I could use. I like this little kind of netted type of thing there. And then I started ripping this off the edge. And that's what I got under the one lady there. So, let me get them crazy things out of the way. And I have a few roses over here. I never use them for anything. I may get them in here. I don't know. And I have a few little bows that are left. They have a little pearl middle. So, I might be able to use those up. Mostly it's other stuff that I had, like netting. I had this pretty bronze netting. And we're going to put that behind each one. I have a few of these pieces here that was thanks to Miss Victoria, who sent me this beauty the other day in some Happy Mail. I just took a few pieces off of the end, and I probably still have enough to do a cover. I got it hanging to the side, couldn't even see it. Yeah, so I've got plans for that. And so let's just get to it. I've got bling over here to the edge that is going to be put on here afterward. And I'm going to scoot this over so I can kind of lay this to the side and try to keep it in order. Here is my piece of knitting for here. This is the bottom, so I'll pull that down. Let me push this up some. And so this one she didn't have. These are Artymaze. This is a 4-piece freebie of Artymaze. You can see the glitter from this crazy thing down here. Yeah, and I loved them. I really love this lady and this one. They were my favorites. And as you can see, this is very starched to the limit. And this is what the base looked like. It was more thinly sparse than the other one was, because it didn't have much of the cream and white left over. So we're just going to kind of put this down here. I'm going to put some glue in behind it, or I might not have to. I might just put it on this, and that will glue it all. Yeah, let's just do it that way. I just wanted a little bit of this sticking out for interest. I hope you don't mind me doing another one with the Lace Masterboard, but I just kind of wanted to get it out of the way, and I thought, well, you know, you may want to see it. I just wasn't sure. And I may have to be trimming around these ladies later, because I don't know how big this is. I don't want a 6x6 journal card, which is what these are going to be. So I'm going to have to work at the edges to see if I can get it down to a size that might work. It may be I make them toppers. Oh, that's an idea. Oh. You see, it don't take much to excite me. Yes, I think that might be what I do. And then I can just cut them all as 6x6, and as close as possible. So yes, that would work. All right, squirt me out some more, because I need it for this heavy lace I'm going to put it on. I really want to thank everybody for coming to visit and see what I'm doing. I've got some fun stuff happening over my Rhoda's Junk page. I had started to do a type of sneaky peek over there. I just started it the 2nd of May. So if you wanted to go over there, I have the link down below in my description box. And what it is you get to try to guess what I'm asking. Like, I'll ask you what style something is, what it is, what it's made out of, things like that. And you answer, and then I've decided, I haven't written this on the page yet, but I have decided that what I'll do is at the end of the month, I'm going to keep track of who all has the right answers. Or, you know, the answers that I believe are right. How about that? I mean, it's going to be a wide spread on what I think is right. So the top 3 at the end of the month, I'm going to fix something, make something. I'm still deciding on that part. To give away to those 3 top people. And I thought it would be something interesting, as it will be like interactive. Somebody, you know, everybody likes games. Plus, it gives them a little bit of an idea what I've got coming up, because these are images of the things that I probably just did a video on that day. And the way I've been playing it out is I'm usually like 4 or 5 days ahead. And there is a stretch in there of about 4 or 5 days that I really didn't have anything. I guess that was last week. So I really have just started it. Okay, I like the way that lays right there. I think that's really pretty. Okay, and I got her stuck right there. Of course, you always might want to come back in here and re-glue some areas. Okay, that's what I'm going to do for now, and then we'll come back in here and add some of these extra little elements to it. But I'm going to get all my ladies down, and I'm going to put that weight on top of her. And hopefully that'll keep her solitary. All right, I've got these little pieces came from that beautiful piece that Victoria sent me. This is going to be down below, and that is too. And then she's got her own little piece of lace right here. So let's see what we can do to try to get that down. Oh goodness, it's raining here again today. My husband, he's off, but he's up in the mountains. Otherwise, I'd be kind of, iffy about recording anything. You know how I am. Now she's got, did I lose it? There it is. She's got a piece of lace she's supposed to have under her, but, I think I was going to do something different with it with her. Like it was kind of curled up around her. Yeah, I think that's how I was going to do it. So this needs to go down first, and then we'll get at it. I'm hoping by me showing you these things, you can kind of see where I go with how I do my collages, or how you might want to approach them. Like I started out with just these 4 ladies, and I started thinking, now how did I want to do them? Do I want to have the lace and all that other kind of around them? Do I want to add more lace to the scene? It was just, and I sit here, most of the evening last night, kind of just piddling, trying to figure out which direction I was going to go with these. And it just kind of eventually comes to you, I guess. I don't know. You work at it long enough, you decide, if you finally decide on something. This is some kind of little braided trim that I've got. I cut little pieces off just so I wouldn't have everything up here, but I think it was something I got at Hobby Lobby, probably. I can get a few things at Walmart, so it may have been there. It's just, you just have to, shop around and check. I'm not one of these people for hauls, I don't, and if I do a haul, it's like stuff that's regular price. I just wanted it. All right, this piece is going to go up alongside her there, so I need to get that. And it's got a little bit of netting on her as well. I'm trying to figure out if this is the better way to go. I really hope everybody is doing well and they're in a happy mood, or has happy things happening to them, and has a bright lookout or aspect of things ahead. I know the sickness has, really kind of gotten a lot of people down, because it's been going on for so long. And then you think you're out of it, or it's gone, and then it comes back. Ugh, enough already, Keep that stuff away. I try to keep a happy aspect, I guess you could say. So, yeah, I don't know if it works so much. It did work when I was in the hospital. When I was in the 6th grade, they finally figured out I had scoliosis. So what happened there? And then I'm going to take and start winding this around her right here. And I'm going to twist it and kind of try to glue it down. So let's see if I can get anywhere. Oh, the glue. Oh, anyhow. So yeah, I got discovered as having scoliosis, and that's curvature of your spine. And usually in school, they're supposed to be in there checking you out. They'll make you bend over at the waist, and they'll run their finger down your spine to see if you have a curvature there. And I don't know how common this stuff is, but it seems to be, I don't know if it's hereditary. I don't know of anybody else in my family that had it. but it's out there, you know, and it's mostly girls. I mean, when I was going over to UVA, with my checkups and all that kind of stuff after I had the operation, that's when they, you know, they were saying that it was mostly a female kind of a thing, but there were a few guys there. So yeah, it's just something big you gotta overcome, that's for sure. I was in that striker frame for, I was supposed to be in it for 14 days, but I got out of there in 11. I'm telling you, I wanted out. I don't like hospitals that much anyhow. And yeah, I needed out. So I don't know. I was just, they would come in, and every 6 hours they would flip you in that frame. And that was to keep bed sores away. And so yeah. It's just one of them things that forms in life, and you just have to overcome it. Have a good attitude, and because if it eats at you and stresses you, it doesn't do much good, you know. All right, I'm going to put this little pretty right here. Push that down. So I got to wear a 9-month body cast from basically hip to from hip up to my neck. My neck couldn't turn, and then it was riding right where my legs would bend up, so it rubbed, you know, blisters and stuff there. So we was forever using that. What was that stuff called? Moleskin, and we were trying to keep that down. But oh my goodness, yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting. And I think that one of the things they said I couldn't do is contact sports. Like, I'm not going out and playing football anywhere. They didn't have to worry about that. Oh. All right, this is the piece where I have that little piece of hat. So I had ripped that little bit off. Now, she needs this little bit of her lace up behind her. So I think I'm going to just go ahead and glue her down and lay the lace behind her, and it'll take care of both items. So I guess what I'm getting at is don't let things get you so down that, you know, it just depresses you, and it doesn't help you. You just need to have a better outlook, I guess, or try to. Some things, you know, it might not be possible. I know that. But I guess in the long run, just try to take care of yourself, mentally as well as physically. All right, let me see about getting this little guy down here. I think this is where it went. Whee! I think I'm going to have to glue this all the way out. This has got some stiffy stuff on it too. I remember we used to have the stiffener that everybody had a stiff, they would crochet something, and then they had these doilies or something that they would spray with spray starch. And yeah, that was the thing. They'd make vases or hats like you saw back here. Oh, you got all kinds of stuff. All right, at one point this hat was kind of folded, so I had to really rip strategically to get some of this to work. All right, so that can go there. There might be another instance where I need to lay the book weight. That little bit right there, I don't know if I want it. It's sticking out too far. There. Don't like that tip on it. All right, and then I had this piece here that was left over from when I was doing the grungy book, and I just need to get rid of it. If you know what I mean, I gotta get rid of it. I love crochet stuff, though. I mean, I did see somebody who, oh, it was Gail. And, I watch Gail Gustinelli a lot. I mean, I've been watching her from the very beginning. Sometimes I skip her shows, some of the things I don't want to see or need to see, but others I really enjoy. And so I get a lot of ideas from her, especially when she piddles in those boxes. I love that. She's going through those boxes looking for stuff to put in her journal she's working on. She's always got those, the to-do boxes and the almost completed boxes. I don't know. And then she's got one, I think, for each style of whatever she's making. All right. I think this lady's done. We still got other things to do to them. Just she's done for now. And that's going pretty fast. I was thinking it would take forever. Now this is, I was wanting to put that under this edge. And then I had, this is one was from one of the Tim Holtz paper packs or ephemera packs. That's where that came from. I'm guessing I got a weird shape to it as well. Stick that up here and use it for something else. I believe this is to go on this side. And then I'm going to have that little bit of crochet lace coming out. So let me hook that to here. And then I can put the whole thing down. Oop. I didn't go down far enough. I just wanted something to stick out from behind her on this side. Yeah. How about that? Yeah. Kind of softens that edge a little bit. I still may do something else there. And then the other side has the pink. And I wanted to get her a little gold in her area here. So let me kind of stick that down here. Plus it's got pink flowers on it, which she has those pink roses. Let me see if I can pull it out to where it's nice and straight. There. And I think I can move over a little bit with her. Yeah, something like that. And then that's to go on top of her, right? Or should it go across the bottom? I kind of like it across the bottom because I don't really have anything down there. That's what we're doing. It's going across the bottom. All right. Making decisions and having plans. I watch some people, and they're just so wishy-washy. I mean, I will admit, I have been wishy-washy myself. But I try not to do it on the camera for too long, because I know that's trifling. It's kind of trifling. So I try to do it really quickly. All right, we're going to stick that right here. Go ahead and use this, because I know my fingers are already nastified enough. I'm trying to think if she needs anything else. Maybe we work on some buttons with her. I like this little edge sticking out down here too. Let's see. Yeah, I think I can do it right like that and it'll work perfect. Okay, come on. I seem to use more fabric tack lately than anything. I've got it on the list. Because it's going to be really soon that all of these crafters are going to be, draining it from the stores. So if you are one to use fabric tack, here's a word of warning. Go out there and get you a couple backup bottles, because they will be, using it for these craft shows. It's going to Christmas in July or whatever that is. Okay, now we're going to start working on putting the little details on it. I've got some of these cameos over here. I wanted this little jewel to go with her. It was an earring. I broke the back off. It was the only one earring. So if you notice, she's got this pattern in her dress, and I thought that was so cool. And this sort of reminds me of it as well. So that's going to go down here in this one little spot where the netting started. I want to call it something else. This was also on that roughly crocheted and starched one, and I'm wondering if I can't wind that through there. I think I can. It kind of sticks up a little bit in that one spot, and I think if I can get that one part up, I might be able to make it work before I go on down any further. Okay. Well, let me see. I think I'm too far down. Or maybe I need to get under here. When you're, there we go. When you're trying to figure things out, you have to make a lot of the different things work, you know, to make it function. Now, this little lady up here, the pink one, I'm not so sure I want to put any of the black here with her. I think that's kind of the wrong color. This may be pretty with her, so I'll probably do that. It's just got like a little flower in there. But I do want to put 2 of these pink bows up here at the top, because that's sort of her look, you know. She's got her underwear on anyway, and yeah. So I think that will work with the lady in her underwear. I'm going to go ahead and put this little piece down here so it could be getting secured on there. And then I'm going to do her little bows. And I used these, if you saw the sneaky peek the other day with my corset pocket, this is what I used on the 2 pieces down here, like where the hip bones, I guess, would stick out. I guess that's what you would say. So yeah. There we go with that. And then here's another. Some of these weren't too flat, but some were. So that's the ones I'm trying to use. And then that can go right up here. Now, of course, these are shabby chic. I mean, of course they are. I mean, that was one of my first things that I started doing, I believe, after I figured out what it was. And I thought it was really pretty. This other lady over here may need because she's got pink flowers, and I got a feeling we may be able to just give her some of these bows as well. The other 2 ladies, I don't think it works so well with. This one's very bent, so I'm going to have to get this glue to help me hold it down like that. There we go. Maybe that's what I could do for her too. On the 2 corners, she can get the bow. I was going to discuss today about, you know, when you do your research and your family tree, you hear all kinds of different stories usually. At least I have. There's been several versions of how they got over here to Virginia from West Virginia next to Kentucky. That's where they came from. It was a long way. So we're trying to figure out what's what. Because I've heard there was a cattle drive, and they had to drive cattle over here, and they came over with their wagon full of stuff. Isn't this pretty? That's a button. It's got the little shank back here. And I bought those. I think it's Hobby Lobby. But I think this would go perfect in that one little swoopy spot right there. So that's where she's going. So yeah, I'd heard like there was a cattle drive, and one of the cousins had come over and drove the cattle with them and swore he would never do it again because it was so hard. And then you have a version where they came over on the train. And my aunt swears by this because she fell off of a counter. She was only like 3, 4. She thought she was big stuff. And I'm going to cut the shank off of this button so I can use it up here. But she fell off the counter and has a scar on her forehead, up to the day she passed away. She swore that that's how it worked. And she had gotten up on that counter. So they were on a train. So I'm sitting here, I love my mysteries. I love my, puzzles, trying to figure out how that went down. And I think what happened was that when they had the cattle drive, they actually did have a wagon. They brought over most of the goods because, if you was to bring it all on a train, it would be so expensive. And so I think that's how they worked it. They wanted to bring stuff over. So I'm going to start to work some buttons in here while I'm talking. And they tried to bring as much as they could by wagon. And then they decided to bring the children over later by train, and maybe clothing or whatever else they thought they could get to come along that route. Because there was talk about them stopping in German Valley, and that is up Harrisonburg way, but over on the West Virginia side. Yeah, they talked about stopping up there and having to dump some stuff off because it was just too heavy for the oxen or whatever they had to pull, the wagon up the hill, the mountain. And so I went and found German Valley. I looked at it. It is pretty steep over there. But that must have been one of the ways that they would come over. There was another guy that was talking. There was a train that ran through Kermit. Probably still runs through Kermit to this day. It's called the Powhatan Arrow. That's what it was called. And it was this, train that people could ride on and go up and down the valley or come over here, things like that. Because it was, I'm trying to figure out if I want to put buttons on her. Maybe up in here. Yeah, so it was a traveling train that came all the way over here to Virginia. And it went down through Williamston, which is over in West Virginia. And then across to Bluefield. And then it came up through Roanoke. And then probably come on up the valley here to Virginia, or Bath County is where they went to. So I believe I have that one figured out. there's always mysteries. Sometimes you can't figure them out, like my Josiah. I still haven't figured him out. But I swear to this day, if they had left me under a few more minutes when I had my carpal tunnel fixed, I could have been asking him. I was sitting there on a bench talking to Josiah, who is my 4th times great-grandfather, and I was wanting to know about his parents. And all of a sudden, some nurse says, "Wake up, wake up. What are you dreaming about?" I'm like, "Genealogy." She goes, "What?" I said, "Genealogy. I was talking to my great-grandfather." Oh, God. I think she thought I was really out of it. Too much meds or something. Oh, my goodness. All right. These crazy little roses that I swear I'm not going to use. I think I'm going to try to load them down on one of these 2 ladies here with the pink. We'll see if we can make it work. Yeah. I really, really wanted to know that answer, too. Oh, could have slapped her. I just did not know. Now, he did Revolutionary War papers and stuff like that, because he was in all kinds of battles, and I think he mustered out in North Carolina, and he was under a couple of the big general kind of people and stuff like that. But he's in one phrase in his thing, because it always talks about, they'll ask him when they were born and where they were raised, and when were they mustered and out, and all that kind of stuff. But he had a question about when he was born, and he says his parents told him he was born the 2nd of May, 1759, in Chesterfield County, Virginia. So that's what he said. But some people have come to say that he was an orphan. And I think by the time he was like 5 or 6, something about maybe he was an orphan and his parents had died, because he is being apprenticed at a blacksmith, which is what he later became. He was very well known as a blacksmith over in Kentucky, or I guess he could have been in Kentucky, but where he settled on the Tug River there, West Virginia. And yeah. And some of the children, if you luck out and you can find them on the 1850 census, you can find that they'll list their birth state. And in some cases, you don't know. I'm stuck to everything. You don't know, where they were born. But my guy, who is his next to last son, he says that he was born in Tennessee on a couple of the census. So I am not quite sure what was happening. So I'm trying to visualize. Did Josiah, because they used to live down in Washington County, Virginia, did they kind of go to the Cumberland Gap, which everybody went to the Cumberland Gap and went through, to come west or north or whatever. So did he actually go there? I wonder if I should give her a cameo too, but that's sort of on the dark side, isn't it? I don't know if that cameo is going to work here as well. Although it's not bad. Okay. I've been twiddling around with a few other things here. And what I think might have happened is that he, with his family, were leaving Washington County, Virginia, and Lee County, which is where the first 2 sons were said to have lived. Though you have to watch with the time period and when the counties were changed. Some were like a humongous county and later were divided up and become smaller counties. So you have to keep an eye on that. I thought this little kind of disc looking thing went really well with the color and shape of this little looking tree thing. I don't know what that thing is. And over here I have these buttons that are sunflowers, and I never used them in my sunflower journal. So I'm going to put those here and a few buttons on their other side. And so anyhow, I believe that he was leaving with his family, and he was using his job of being a blacksmith as a way and means to make his way through there. So at one point, they stopped in Tennessee and probably lived there for, a year, 6 months, whatever, until maybe there was a wagon train or something that would go through the Cumberland Gap at certain times of the year. It may have been close to winter, so they didn't want to go then. it's things like that you have to kind of roll around in your head. Okay, this little button I think would look good up in here. Got to cut the shank off of it. It's just plastic one, so it doesn't take too much. Or at least I hope it doesn't. There we go. That one bounced. I don't know where it went. I might not have had to cut that off, but I did anyway. We're going to get it up here. So I got a little gold there. And then I want this extra little rosebud up here in that other little spot, like I'm tucking it in there. Okay. Was there anything else? Anything else? I think I got it all. Now what we're going to do is cut it apart. And we're going to make our 6x6 toppers. Alright, how we're going to do this is we're going to measure across at 6 inches. Hopefully everything is dry on there. Or stuck good enough that it's not going to come off. But we're going to make us a little bit of a line right here at 6 inches over. And then we're going to draw it down the center and hand cut it. There, that's close enough. And then I'm just going to get in here and slice it. The one going across is going to be the harder one, because the one lady, I should have put her up, or yeah, I should have put her up further. The one that has all the hat stuff on it. But I didn't. I didn't put her up high. So the one lady's is going to be a little... This side is good. It's this side. This lady, I should have gotten her up higher because her stuff hung down so low. So I'm trying to figure out how to go about that. I wonder if I can cut it from the front. If I can get the pencil mark on there deep enough or dark enough. I probably don't need to put a pencil mark because I think I can just do it right above all these little rosettes or whatever you call those things. Yeah, let's see if we can do that. I can see the pencil, so if you had to do it this way, the pencil would show. I just don't want to cut what is on the upper side there. There we go. Ah, that worked. All right, let me get the other two. Then we have to figure out how we want to finish it. Now, that over here, I feel like it's a little too much, so we'll have to judge what we might want to do here. Actually, I'm not going to even measure with this one because I'm going to go right above these little rosettes. Like I said, I don't even know if this is the 6-inch mark, but this is where it is in my mind. All right. Is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Almost. It was, well, I think it's right on the money. Now this one looks even on either side. And depending on if you have a 6-inch wide cover, which most people would, that's where you may have to figure out what you want to do. I don't think it's this time I'm going to finish the edges. I would like to cut this one off though, because it is a little wrong. Let's go down through here like this. We'll just go ahead and do it. Now I'm going to keep this because it may be somewhere I could use that. You just never know. Yeah, that looks a little better. She looks more even. And since she's going this way, all right. Like I said, that one, she's kind of even, but depending on what kind of a journal you put them on, that might be a little too wide. So we're just going to go ahead and cut them down. And I'm being wishy-washy, aren't I? That middle section, I think, bowed a little bit on me. So let's go straight. Yeah. Maybe I have to get on the back side. There, that's better. And I want to do this little bit of an edge, like at least right there. Yep, that one's pretty much even. And this lady needs it. Looks like part of hers is actually coming off anyway. It's a bubble right there. All right, that one. And then cut right here. Let me warn you, when you do it this way, that the lace is kind of bumpy, so it almost guides your scissors in the wrong way. Yeah, I think that's better. All right, let's go ahead and cut a little bit of her off. And a little bit of this side. I could put these little strips on a tag and dress a tag up. It gives it a little bit of a different element. All right, so here are our ladies. And I could snip the corners and ink around the outside edges. I might try that with one. Let's do this lady. Let's see how it works. I'm going to just use Vintage Photo. Looks like I need a little bit of glue under that corner. Like I said, there's always maintenance. Yep, let's try some Vintage Photo Oxide and see how the edges work out. This is how I did the last ones, and I thought they turned out really nice. Because the gold almost gives you the impression that the Vintage Photo is like a gold tint as well, because it's so warm. Ooh. Okay, do you like that? I think that trims or frames it for me. All right, I'm going to do the rest of these. Alrighty then. So here is our close-up of all the pretties. And like I said, these are going to be toppers for journals. And really, really, this is beautiful, Victoria. Thank you so much for sending that, because I could go through quite a few of these with that. And those hats. Those hats will get me a long way too. And this is how this lady turned out. As you can see, she's got her little collage down here of buttons. She's got some stuff on her too. I love the roses at the bottom down here as well. And each one of these sort of has a little scoop design on the bottom, as you can see. And I think that really adds to them too. This is always my favorite of the ladies and how she looks. And she has a collage of buttons to kind of hide where her netting ends. She's got that little button here that really looks like it goes with that. And look at that trim. And it goes so well. See, she's got that trim right there on her dress. And it's exactly like that. Exactly. And then this earring Mom gave me, I think it really just adds to the look. Oh, I love that one. It might not be going anywhere. And then here's this one. I always wondered about this lady. She looks like she's like posing in front of a window or something. But I don't know if that's her jammies or what that is she's wearing. So she has the pretty snowflake kind of a button down here. She's got sequins on here and pearls on the hat. So she's really blinged out. She's got pearls on her things here. And see, these two got the bows on the top, and I think that really adds to the top look because there was nothing really up there. So I hope you enjoyed that, especially if you're a Shabby Chic fan. If you think these ladies are primo, give me a thumbs up and leave me a message if you like them. Thank you so much. Everybody have a great day, my subscribers and viewers. Bye-bye.